Hi everybody, Sadi Yunus here, licensed marriage and family therapist, and I wanted to come on today to speak to parents. Okay, I'm a parent myself. I have 4 children of the ages of 14, 13, 7, and 3. So a lot of us parents today are facing this quarantine in which our kids are home from school. A lot of times we're home from school and we're in each other's faces. And so many parents are talking about, okay, how do I keep my kids busy? How do I make sure that they're using this time wisely? Whereas others are saying, I'm just surviving this, I'm getting through it. We're gonna watch as much TV and movies as we can, and we're gonna eat whatever we want, and we're gonna get through it. So I wanted to just come on today and to give my personal and professional opinion on this and what we as parents can do. And it's a little bit of a focus on not so much what we need to do, but more so on how our relationship with our kids is the most important thing. And the primary thing that we need to focus on is our relationship with them and our communication with them. More so on what we're doing, what we need to do, which we're focusing on that anyways, right? There's a scramble of doing, and doing. But let's get a perspective here and really focus on all of these kids are home, and there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of tension inside of us. There's a lot of worry, there's a fear, and we're going through so much as adults. We're going through anxiety and fear, and we're constantly checking the news and being up to date on everything. How is this impacting the kids? So children are very susceptible, right, to everything that's going on around them. They're absorbing the energy. They can absorb our anxiety and our fears and our worry, depression. It's very much contagious, to use that word right now. But it's focusing on how can I deal with my own anxiety and my own stress in a way that doesn't impact my children in an extremely negative way. And so I wanted to give us an ABC. So this way it's easy to remember, an ABC on how to relate and respond to our children. And before I go into that, just keeping in mind self-care for ourselves, right? Doing as much as we can as parents to take care of ourselves so that I have an outlet to speak about my own stress, meeting with my therapist online. This way I'm keeping that safe distance, but I'm also working on my anxiety and my stress and expressing that so that I'm not unloading and unleashing on everybody in the household, right? So having that space that I'm taking care of that. Not constantly being on my phone and reading the news and being on social media, but giving myself breaks throughout the day, as many as I can, just putting the phone away and just being absolutely present where we are. And that's what our kids really deserve. Our kids deserve parents who are present, who are mindful, who are focusing in on them. And so let's give that to them. And so when it comes to responding to them, maybe they're overreacting, they're acting out, they're yelling, they're fighting, all of this stuff is going on. I want us to remember ABC. So A is to actively listen. And that goes back to being present, right? We can't actively listen if I'm on my phone, I'm reading the news, and my kid's trying to tell me something. I'm gonna be too into that, right? Especially now. There's so many emotions involved in just reading the news now. It's not just reading it. So actively listen, being able to put the phone away, to put whatever I'm dealing with away, even if I need a little bit of breather, and that actually takes me to B. But the first one is A, actively listen. Focus on them. Focus on these little ones who are probably so confused and don't understand what's going on and why have things changed so drastically for me. I was in school one day and now I'm home and my mom and dad and everybody are super stressed. So let's actively listen to them. Really eye contact, lowering ourselves to their level, especially with the tiny ones, and really focusing in on what they're saying. Like, let's truly hear them. And B is to breathe, and we need to do more of that. We really, really can benefit from that. So even in that moment that I'm actively listening, I may feel like I want to immediately respond, react, a stress reaction, or, oh my gosh, or stop fighting, these kinds of things. So take a moment to just breathe, even if you have to communicate that to your child. You know what, sweetie, I heard what you said. I just need to take a little bit of a breather, or taking a few deep breaths, and I'll get back to you. My son was saying something the other day, and I just couldn't focus. I was feeling a lot of anxiety, and I said to him, I heard what you said, but I'm feeling a little anxious right now, so I just need a couple of seconds, and then I'll sit with you and we'll talk. And I did exactly that. I walked away, I took some deep breaths, and then I came back to him, and I was able to sit with him and be present. Especially now, there's no rush, to answer them. It's important that we're in a calm state to be able to really focus on them and listen. And so that's the B, is to breathe, okay? And let's take a breather right now. I know we all need this, especially as parents during this time. Take a deep breath in with me, okay? A deep breath in, we'll take a deep breath out, and you want that in breath to be through your nose, your out breath to be through your mouth, and the out breath to be longer than the in breath, okay? So let's just do that for a second here. Breathing in and out. And as you do that, you can even visualize breathing in light and breathing out darkness, okay? Breathing in the clean, purified air, and breathing out all that negative, toxic, germy air, right? And so let's do that. Let's breathe. Even in speaking to our kids, giving myself a moment to breathe, and then also helping them and teaching them, like, hey, sweetie, look, let's take a deep breath together. And when they're feeling anxious, when they're acting out, when they're fighting each other, let's take a breather. Let's separate from each other and take a breath. And then C is to choose how you want to respond. And when you are regulated, when you are calm, when you are not in physiological activation, when your heart's not racing and you're sweating and you're tensing your muscles, when you're in a calm state, now you're physiologically, psychologically, you're able to actually listen. You're in your thinking portion of the brain, that you're able to choose how you want to respond instead of reacting. However the reactions come out, anger, frustration. So you get to choose how you want to respond, and choosing to be that loving, engaging, calm, reassuring parent that our kids deserve right now. They don't need the yelling, and we don't need the yelling. It takes energy, right? And the kids deserve calm, regulated, loving parents. We want to give them that. So A, actively listen. And if you're not in a state to listen, to breathe, and to breathe anyways throughout, before, during, and after listening to our kids. Calming ourselves down, calming our nervous system, recognizing where in your body you're feeling that tension. A lot of times I feel it in my chest. And so I put my hands on my chest, and that helps me to feel a little bit calmer. So as parents, we need to do that for ourselves, that self-care. And then to not react to just however I'm feeling. A lot of times that's what we do with our kids. I'm feeling angry, so I'm gonna yell. Instead of, I want to be that calm and loving parent, so let me calm myself down and then choose how I want to respond and how I want to engage with my child. And this is a difficult time, so I'll just end here, that we don't want this to be a place and a time where our children absorb that negative energy and hold on to it, and it becomes childhood trauma for them. We want this to be a time of love and enjoyment and connection. So yes, it's difficult, and that's why we got to take care of ourselves. We got to do that self-care, make sure that I'm in a state that I can really focus on you right now and pay attention to you, and then love them and reassure them and connect with them in whatever ways that we can. And there's always therapy for us to reach out and to have that place to discuss all these concerns and fears and worries, so that I'm not conveying that or passing that on to my children. So reach out for therapy, get the help so you have that space to, discuss all of your worries and concerns, and so you can get back to your children to be, in that calm and loving state. And it is difficult at this time. It's difficult to get away from the kids and do therapy and do all of these other things. But let's try, because I'm a parent myself, let's all try to just even take those moments of breathers so that I can get back to my kids a more loving, kind, and calm parent who's not yelling and screaming at them and reacting instead of responding. So I hope that was helpful to you. I'm going to try to use these tips myself as a parent of 4 and trying to get through this difficult time together. Just tell yourself you've got this. You're an amazing parent, and your kids and you will get through this difficult time together. Let's make the best of it, parents. All right, take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.